absolutely love it. I get excited every time I hear it, every time I see it. Here we are back again. The two amigos, the Big Bedford Buck and the Crazy Cougar, Matt Trahan over here from Old Colony. Heath, super excited to get back together with you for the MSSADA podcast, chock full of information. So much stuff going on, and we are T-minus, 5 weeks out, maybe a little more?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Good stuff.
Like, of all the things we're looking to do to get ready for today, that was not actually one of them, ironically enough.
I agree. Hey, Keith, we always talk about this. If you're looking for a fundraising company, look no further. Gold Athletics is the premium fundraising company across the country. They are expanding. They have everything that meet your needs. Anything you can drum up or think of, they've got it. Just did a fundraiser with Matt Ross, myself, and I know you've worked with Steve as well from the company. Tremendous. They deliver. Everything is really set up for you to be, plugged in, and you just take care of everything online now. So it's an amazing feature, and they've come soup to nuts. Every year they get a little bit better.
Absolutely, and I know we talked about this last time here, but once again, a shout out to those guys, and it was great to see them attending our national conference for the first time. As well. Made it down to Austin, Texas, so that was great, and he did not disappoint. I know there was a talk of a bag of beef jerky, and that beef jerky was brought and delivered, and was a huge hit, at least for myself on the plane ride home. So that was.
That's very kind of you, but at the same point in time, it's not very kind of you, because we had a discussion the last time we were on the podcast, and I was actually looking forward to the beef jerky. However, I spent 3 days in bed and missed the national conference because I was ill. So my question is did you save me any beef jerky?
So the quick answer is hell no. Didn't have a chance. It was actually outstanding. But
I'm sure it was.
Maybe we can see if another bag could surface. In 5 weeks while we're down there.
I hope so. Yeah. I look forward to spending time with them. They are great people. It is. Yes. And you know what the funny thing is when you get to work with them and you get to see them, they're like family, right? Like they all get along. They're super personable. How can we help you? And then it's like, you bump into them and it's like, you're running into an old friend,
Yes, absolutely.
Just good people. So, Keith, I know that we're on, a little bit of borrowed time. I've got something, and I know that you've got something this afternoon as well. Yeah. But we want to give the folks who are listening exactly what they're looking for. Before we do that, let's talk a little bit about the winter season as it's winding down.
Yeah. So we're like a weekend, 2 weeks left here, just about to cutoff dates. I know I've been following along on Twitter, and I know that the Old Colony Cougars, the boys basketball team, has been getting it done. But we're winding down. We have a makeup game tonight from the snow from over the weekend. We postponed the game on Sunday.
Nice.
But we're right down there. So in the midst of, for us, the swim tournament, sectionals last weekend, states this weekend. We got wrestling sectionals this weekend. We have track divisional meet this weekend. Winding down on boys and girls ice hockey, boys and girls basketball. Our cheer team, I'm not sure if you have winter cheer down there as well, but we got it going on up here. Very, very busy.
Yeah, no, it's been a very busy winter. I thought we were going to get through, Keith, without a cancellation. It's been a couple of years since you had to bounce some things around. We got a little snow too, so I'll be playing great in New Bedford over the vacation week. So yeah, but it's coming fast. Had a big game last night. We got another one tomorrow night. And then, like you said, you get into the break and, it's tournament time.
Yeah. And it's a great time. It's an exciting time of the year. We're seeing the tournament rankings coming out and the power seeding every Tuesday and Friday, right at 11 o'clock. It's, I'm not sure what it's like down in Old Colony, but my school, it's pretty exciting. People looking. We have some teams who've done pretty well. We have our girls ice hockey co-op team, which amazingly has pretty much stayed in the same exact spot, which is amazing to me. For like 4 weeks now in a row, and that's with a loss in there, with a few wins, and It hasn't really changed at all. And I know some people are for it, some people are against it. I'm a big fan of the statewide system. I think Massachusetts is a state that we can clearly make that work. I know some folks out there are either pro or for the margin of victory. For me, I think whether it changes or not, but I think there's a benefit to it where we just can't be that win-loss anymore. That wasn't really working before, where you have teams that would be seated at 1 solely because of their record.
Right.
So lots of talk out there whether or not different sport committees will change that and stuff like that. Time will tell. Lots of talk out there about bringing back those 1A tournaments. Again, time will tell. So exciting time, I think, and looking to do all that stuff. So
I'm gonna play devil's advocate with you because I don't necessarily disagree. I see your point, and I definitely think that there's some excitement behind it. I know certainly at my school, Tuesdays and Fridays are big because I'm getting text messages from my coaches and everybody's looking at the tournament. But what I will say is, being in a small school situation, it does pose its problems because I will say, like for us, we're 17-1, play a decent schedule, but we're sitting at number 16, which is great. But in theory, the old system was you were probably getting a home game, which is and I understood what your point is. You get the home game and then you either get blown out or whatnot. But the long and short of it is in the Division 5, which is the lower division. I'm going to tell you something. There's 85 teams. So if you don't get a home game, you could be, you might want to get on Mike Roy's jet because there's no way. I mean, you're talking about you got to get there. You're traveling.
Mike, that's funny you mentioned Mike Roy's jet. That's like the original flying machine that Leonardo da Vinci made, and it's held together with glue and bubble gum.
Yeah, duct tape too. Little duct tape.
Yeah, that ain't making it all the way back out. Or making any bit of anywhere outside of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. I see your point, Matt, and there's definitely pluses and minuses to it, and whether or not you get home games, for us, our boys hockey team is ranked pretty high right now, and then trying to line up that time with the rink to make sure that we're all set to be able to get those home games and stuff like that, but it's nice to see the change that happens from year in, year out. It was always one way, and then hearing about things like determining based on a coin toss.
I'm with you.
Like that's the stuff that I think that I never wanted to see again. So certainly open to different things, and there are other people that are very active in that. I'm not, but my hope is for people around the state that when they have things that they like to see done differently or this, that, whatever, that you figure out a healthy way to advocate for that, whether it be being a representative to those committees in your district, getting involved. We talked about that, especially with new ADs, figuring out a way to get involved. And then, one of the things that came up in our last 2 MSSADA meetings ago is talking about how different districts handle their representation. Is the person on that committee representing the entire district when they vote on things, or are they just representing themselves?
It's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up.
We've really started to have those conversations within our district about what that looks like. I know, for instance, the football committee, there's just a vote there, and every time our representative for the football committee, if there's a big vote that comes out, he'll reach out and he'll ask for feedback ahead of time. Which, again, the importance of having agendas laid out for meetings ahead of time, and so people also aren't wasting their time. And as you and I both know, our schedules are busy, and we got stuff going in every day, every different direction, and want to make sure we can use our time as effectively as possible, right?
Oh, I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. I look at like what we're doing, and I think that we're onto something, but I think we're far from finished yet.
Yep.
There's going to be continual tweaks. I'm more of a creature of habit. I like to let's nail it down and let's live with it for a while. I think if I were to you and I always talk about, hey, one of these times we're gonna really get into it, and we're gonna kind of we're gonna talk about some things. One of the things that, if I haven't been totally honest with you, Keith, and I'm gonna offer my opinion, I'm tired of potential changes with football. Every year we get a different proposal. And quite frankly, I have no problem saying this. I feel like, and I know a lot of people on that committee, and I know they're very passionate, but you can't have one sport, bleed into another sports season and expect that to be okay, for one. And two, the more things that you offer and the more changes you offer, it almost looks like, hey, I don't necessarily know what I'm doing, but let's see if this sticks.
Yep.
So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I'd like to see us, kind of nail it down and stick with it and keep the process rolling.
Fair point. Yeah, no, fair point. I saw there was a proposal out yesterday that went, I think it was like a 6-5 vote to go to back to the old way, which was like basically like a full season. Thanksgiving included in that full season, back to the way it used to be, and then going 3 games in the span of 2 weeks. But now you're right now we're 1 week into that winter season, and now you're talking about maybe going into a second week. And yes, for most of the state, it doesn't impact them, but just think about those kids that it does.
Right.
And again, we're supposed to be, in theory, everyone does things differently, but making our decisions on what's based on what's best for kids.
I agree with you.
And if you like a winter season coach, I know what you are as well. You're waiting for those kids, and is it fair to them? And taking the longest season and making it even longer, or different things that you come out with is, Thanksgiving is so important, but we're like Thanksgiving football is really a Massachusetts thing with a couple other neighboring New Hampshire, Connecticut, and stuff like that too. So is it worth looking at that again? And that taboo topic of finishing. You having your statewide, your Super Bowls happen on that Saturday and Sunday after Thanksgiving. So you go right into the winter season, boom, ready to go. Similar to what we do in the winter season into the spring. You're having the state championships in basketball on Saturday, on hockey on Sunday, and then on Monday you're starting your spring season. So certainly stuff to talk about. Absolutely.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, there's a ton to talk about. I just, again, to the point, we've all done committee work. I think we all understand how, the hierarchy works in relation to our association. And I think we've cleaned that up quite a bit. I just think that we're at the point right now where, we might want to just kind of go like this a little bit, and specifically for newer ADs who are coming on, right? So I know you're a seasoned veteran. I've been doing it a while, and we've got our ear to the door, and we're kind of listening to what's going on. But you could easily miss something because there's so many changes that happen throughout the year, and I do think that they do a good job communicating. We, if you do read the newsletter, there's tons of information in there, and I applaud Dr. Baldwin on that. But I will say, though, the changes, it's an opportunity to kind of have one of those little, missteps. So it would be nice to kind of, let's nail some things down. Let's get it done. And I'm not the first one to say that. I think that, we're onto something, but I would definitely like to see us come full circle and just kind of, not keep making changes to something that, we haven't really, trialed yet. It's only been a couple of years. So
absolutely,
we get that. But while I'm on that tangent, listen, you got to tell me, where did you pick up that hat? Because I'm going to tell you, I'm jealous. I mean, my forehead's cold right now.
Listen, so so this would be a sponsor shout out because we don't have these guys sponsor us. So I need to be careful. I want to make sure we're not getting any trouble here. But I am a big Boston Scally fan. This is.
If they're listening, money talks. If they're listening,
and we are, I'm up to about 6 or 7 of them. I got put on hold for a little bit.
Really?
The big boss said, "All right, we're gonna take it. I don't know if you need any more of those. We'll see if another one might be sneaking its way through the mail here, or maybe delivered to work instead of home. But I'm a big fan of them.
As you should.
Yeah.
The question is
it's perfect when it's cold in the wintertime.
I wonder how that would look with like a big B on it, like a Bedford buck.
Ooh. See, it's funny that you say that.
Maybe on the back.
There was talk about that, but we're this one is a shamrock in it and stuff. So we this is the peaky version of it, but I don't want to go overboard. You know what I mean? Like,
I got you.
It's tough to take it. It's easy to take it too far.
Yeah.
But for me, this is also a business and an off business attire. So like to travel in both spheres there, if you will.
I listen to me. I know you dabble. You're on both sides of the house. Looking sharp as always. I will say this though: you could see me in March, and I could look a lot more like you because I'm throwing it down to the team. If we win out, we may do a buzz cut. We'll see.
Yep. That could be fun. Maybe we can even add that into the MSSADA podcast. live on the MSSADA podcast. A new haircut for Coach Strahan.
Yeah, we'll go live. I don't know how my wife feels about that, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, listen, I would say it always grows back, but it doesn't.
It doesn't.
So you want to be careful with that. So
yeah, this I know. Yeah, but Keith, I know that there's one thing in particular that we're going to talk about today that is of major importance, and that is all the planning, all the events, and this is our big 50th year. A lot of surprises, a lot of different things. Super excited. We're going to be hosting Section 1 as well. Yep. Our 50th anniversary down in Hyannis is going to be extra special. For those of you that are coming for the first time, I think you're going to see it through a whole different lens. And there's a lot of people involved that want to make this a quality event. And I think it's a highlight for a week of what we do annually. Yeah.
So we're off on March 31st, right through till April 4th, and it's going to be exciting. And I want to make sure I'm also not giving us the wrong dates here for some reason.
I think you did. I think you might have.
That sounded odd to me for a second there, Matthew.
When you said April, I go,
Yeah, no, excuse me. I am wrong because it's always my mistake. Backpedal here a little bit because we're in that extra week this year. So the 24th we'll start, and then we'll be down there on the 23rd, as we know, for to get ready for the Section 1 meeting for the NIAAA. Folks from New Jersey and New York and Connecticut and Rhode Island and Maine and Vermont, New Hampshire, and great group of folks. So come and talk about our business at the section level, and then for our national business that we need to do. And then we will head back over to the other side of town, getting ready for our conference that'll start. So be pretty exciting. We're going to have, those LTC courses that we have rocking and rolling. I think we have 7 different courses being offered over really, it's 2 days, but it's over 3 calendar days, over 48 hours worth, but 503, 504, 506, 601, 30, 717, and 724. So, and a couple of those are new courses as well. So that'll be exciting. We have guest speakers coming in. We're going to do college, university, like post-high school panel where we have 1, 2, 3 representatives, JUCO, so on and so forth, talking about things to the next level. Mark Lineweaver is going to be coming in and presenting. He's been with us in the past as our keynote speaker. We have the vendor hall, which is always a great experience, and what funds our conferences and those vendors. And from what I understand, we have more than we've ever had before. So that's a big event. We've invited all of our past presidents that are still with us to come back and join us as well. Those invitations, thanks to Tanya, just has put something great together, as she always does, and shoulders a lot of the nuts and bolts of what we do in MSSADA.
He's a rock star.
Yeah, absolutely. So she put together a great invitation, and that's going to be going out here soon as well to those folks, that hopefully they can join us.
Here are some major raffles too, Keith. Major raffles.
Listen, so we have the regular raffles. We do the 50-50 raffle, and half of that goes to whatever the national initiative is. We've done the cornhole toss that we've done that Kevin Cairo and Tom Tarpey have run and done a great job after years. In spite of, rumor has it that we did have a beanbag land in a chandelier, from what I hear.
There's a photo of that, and I think I know who it was, and he works in Boston, but that's okay.
All right.
That's all right.
Might have been very excited to get in there, so that's great. But something new that we're going to do this year. Is it okay if we drop this little nugget of what we're throwing out there?
Are you? And I don't know, but are you? You're not talking about the shipyard raffle, are you? From last year?
Oh no, I wasn't actually even talking about that. I was talking about something different.
That may reappear, but if you're talking about something that's there's a number 55 attached to it.
Yes.
Oh no, we're going to keep that as a secret. We may talk about that live down in Hyannis. We got to keep some secrets, Coach, because guess what? We want the folks to go in there and be eyes wide open, because guess what? It's going to look and feel amazing.
It's great.
And if you hit the district street, it's going to really feel amazing.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. And you know what we're going to have again? I know this was a big time last year, and I'm not sure how many people knew about it, because there was a lot of talk about a pop-up and not really knowing what was happening. Is that we have a extremely talented peer of ours that was strumming on the guitar and singing. And from what I understand, I only saw this one night, but some very talented backup singers from what I hear as well.
Oh, listen, I'm going to tell you that he was on the ones and twos, and his backup singers were they were all in. What we should do, and I don't know that he's listening, but he'll catch wind of it. I think when we do something live, I think we bring him on with it and strum that thing live. Right?
I think that would be amazing. Well, I'll let you reach out to that person and see if he's good to go.
Absolutely. Keith, great. I know that you, my friend, got a very important meeting this afternoon. Yep. We will get together again before the conference, and we will be talking a lot of the finer points that are going to actually take place. But if you haven't registered, take care of that. You need a room down there. There is a satellite hotel as well, and I know that I think you referenced there was 200 and how many folks already registered?
247 people, including the folks from Rhode Island that join us as well.
That's fantastic. So if you haven't done it, you're going to want to take care of it. And if you have a friend and they've booked it, you may want to stay with them. So, Keith, always great to get together with you. When we get down to the conference, I think we should do one of these every single day, because it's so much fun. And I think we should bring in some special guests.
There we go.
All right, my friend. Listen, before we go, again, one last time, folks, Gold Athletics, hit them up down at the conference. They are a premium fundraising company. They take care of all of your needs, and they've certainly taken care of our mass schools. We look forward to seeing them again. Keith, signing off.
See you soon.